Hi all, this is just a quick video on getting permission on farms and private land for metal detecting. You probably know that your best finds are going to be made on farms. The beaches are alright, but at the end of the day you need private land to go on. And it is hard if you're a new detectorist to make those connections. Everyone knows farmers are really busy people, they've got loads to do. They don't want you mithering at the door, or there could be massive dogs in the farmyard or something, but things just put you off like that. So you end up thinking, I will go and knock on a few doors one day, but you never get around to it. But this year I've ended up with a couple of thousand acres by just doing something differently, and that is going to farmers' houses or properties, whatever you want to call them, when I know that they're expecting someone. And the way that you know they're expecting someone is if they are selling something at the gate. And it can be potatoes, it can be eggs, it can be bales of hay. Any kind of produce that they're selling roadside means that they're expecting someone to walk up the garden path and knock on the door, or make contact somehow. So what I've done this year is, where I've seen things for sale, I've gone to the farm or the farm shop and I've bought something, and that was the way I started a conversation about metal detecting. So I tell them that I'm local, I tell them that I'm in a local history society, that I'm insured through the National Council of Metal Detecting. And that's the contact. That's the first part of getting permission, is making that contact and having the confidence to go to the door and talk. It might be the farmer's wife, it might be the farmer's son or daughter, it might even be a farm worker, but it gets you in there, and it gets a conversation going. I mean, one farm that I've got, I didn't even buy anything. I just saw bales of hay for sale. I don't even want any bales of hay, but I knocked on the door and said, it's about the hay. I don't want any, but I'm a metal detectorist. And they were really pleased to let me on the land, it turned out. So, and it's been great. So that's been my key to getting in this year, and it's been miles easier than I thought. I mean, farmers are great people. They do a really hard job, and they're out all day and all night sometimes, and you've got to appreciate how busy they are. And I just want to fit around their schedule any way I can. So if I can get there in the daytime and buy something and get that conversation going, once I get permission, that's great. What you will need to do is get yourself some little cards, get a load of those made, and then when you go to the farm, if they say to you, I'm sorry, no, I don't want anybody on my land detecting or anything like that, fine. Give them a card anyway, and just say to them, if ever you lose anything, anything small or valuable, I'll come and find it for you for free. Just give us a shout. And that's another way in, and that has worked for me as well. We had a farmer that we knocked on who didn't want us on the land, but he lost his quad keys for his quad bike, and he rang us about 6 months later to go and find them. And between me and my friend, we found these quad keys. There's all kinds of keys on this bunch. It was worth quite a few quid, and he was over the moon. And after getting the quad keys back, he said straight away, you can go wherever you want, anytime you want. Yeah, here's my phone number. So that's great. When I do go to the farms, I'm always in my van usually, so I just put a little notice in the window. Obviously my name's on there and my telephone number, just in case my car's in the way or my van's in the way. The farmer can just give me a quick ring and say, come and move your van, mate. I need to get a tractor through that gate, or someone wants you to move your van for whatever reason. I've also been on farms and helped them find stopcocks for water troughs for sheep and animals and things where they've had leaks and that. So the farmer likes to have you on his team sheet, because you can come in quite useful as a detectorist, especially if he trusts you to do something for him, like find missing gear or a stopcock in a field or anything like that, lost rings, anything. But the main thing is you get on there, and when you get on there, you follow the code, you shut the gates, you're neat, you're respectful, you tell him when you're going. If he wants that, you tell him when you've finished or when you're going home. And also, if you're on the land and you see anything out of the ordinary, like an open gate or someone knocking about, mooching around, then by all means let him know. You're an extra pair of eyes at the end of the day, so you're doing like a security role. So this year, just following that lead, it's been my best year ever for getting permissions. And like I say, a couple of thousand acres this year and next year. The thing is, when you exhaust those farms, if you ever can, and the farmer knows you and he's seen that you're honest and you're doing nothing wrong, you could say to him, I've finished them fields. Have you got any friends or family, or can you recommend me to somebody? And sometimes you could go there, and we went to a farm. We finished the farm completely. It was only a small holding. And while we were there, his neighbour called in and he said, "Oh, what you doing?" And we told him. He said, "Oh, you can come and do mine if you like." And straight away, we're next door. So he just knocks on. Once you get in, get your foot in the door, that's it. You've cracked it. So that's my tip anyway. If you're new to detecting, definitely join the National Council of Metal Detecting. Get yourself some insurance. Get yourself some insurance, which gives the farmer a bit of confidence that you're not messing about. And just be straight with the farmer. Go to the door, knock on the door, buy his eggs, buy his milk, ice cream, whatever you go for, and then get the conversation rolling. And I tell you, you'll have some success. It's far better than going stone cold to a farm that's expecting nobody. It's a lot harder that way, but this is the way I've found works for me. And like I say, you're going to find the better stuff on the farms, definitely. The beaches are all right for drops and all that, but spending hours and hours on the tide line. But on the farms, you're in the countryside, you're doing a bit of a service for the farmer. Let's be fair, if you find something really, really good, you're both going to get some money out of it. That's another thing. If you want to shake on a deal, I mean, all my farms are 50-50 on any fines that we have. So just be straight, just be honest, be respectful when you go to the farm, follow the country code and all those things, leave no mess behind you, close all the gates, and I'm sure you'll do as well as I've done. Anyway, happy hunting, good luck.